Welcome to this Up There podcast. I am your active and attractive host, Big Loon, for another episode of the fastest growing podcast on the market right now. We did peak at number 36. We need to get back to at least 36 to feel good. Nonetheless, the impact is growing of the show, right? The impact is growing, so thank you for that. If you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, if you are listening to the audio version of this podcast and you want to see the video version of this podcast, then you head over to FOGFO TV. It drops Thursday on YouTube at 6 a.m. If you are looking at the video version of this podcast and you want to listen to the audio version, you head over to anywhere you get your podcast at and type in It's Up There Podcast, and we should pop up. The game it's a lot going on. Of course, you are in a place where we break the game down, and people come and people enjoy the show, and we appreciate you guys. I think I'm gonna start splitting these episodes up and dropping twice a week, or maybe twice Monday. I know last week I dropped the West Side Slow interview. If you haven't watched that, West Side Slow is the guy who spared a young boy that was trying to steal his Mercedes-Benz when he was at an Atlanta gas station. You probably seen it on the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, things like that, in which he caught him in the car and had the gun on him and pulled him out the car, patted him down, gave him some game, and let him go on about his way. And so I wanted to dig in and see, the mindset of people that, because, nowadays we don't spare people, because ain't nobody looking to spare you. So you looking to, because his intentions was clear. You come to steal from me, right? And so he didn't know it was a kid. So I was interested in knowing, his upbringing and outlook on that, and kind of centering that viral moment and giving people a place to come and see exactly what happened, hear it from the horse's mouth, and see the characteristics and the character traits of the guy that was involved with it. So that was dope, and just trying to form the business and how I want to place it out there for my people, you know what I'm saying? And so that's where I'm at. And I'm back on road. So It's Up There Podcast will be on the West Coast here very soon. And we also be at the Revolt Summit. So if you're in that area and you want to tap in with us, just let us know. But as I'm back on road, we got football, you got basketball, things like that going on. So I'm in a position like, man, I ain't been nowhere in a while, man. I just kind of sit in the podcast and music and things like that. And I said, man, let me start back going to these games. And then I said, man, the internet is such a weird place, because they, when I say they, I just speak about people, right? So people are able to fake it on that internet. They can fake it on the Insta. They done found a way to fake it everywhere in this world except for inside them basketball games. Yeah. And football, them sports events, they show who really balling. Yeah, them sports events is gonna separate the men from the mice. See, on your gram, you in a Lamborghini, you went to the game, you was sitting so far up, I'd have stayed home. I got to be able to trip the referee and hear the floor rumble and throw popcorn at LeBron James if being funny, So, that's one place that it separates the men from the mice. And I was looking at that because it's a lot of people that you would think ball, and you run into them at the game, be like, yeah, I'm going down here. Where you at? Nah, we up there. We just come right here to take the picture. Oh man, they doing it like that. So y'all here for the picture. I'm here to really enjoy the game. I really am fans of these dudes just balling, and I got some money on it. You understand me? But it's just funny. Pay attention now. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to where these dudes is claiming they ball and sitting at these basketball and football games. Some of them is in the nosebleed. Man, you supposed to stay home, slime. And we thought you got an AP on in the nosebleed section. Something don't sit right with me. It's giving fake watch buster. You understand? It's giving some or whatever they say now. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't it's one place to separate the men from the mice. We want to start the show off, man, with some sad news. Rapper Fetty Wap has now been arrested at the Rolling Loud tour. You heard me last week speak about a war on rappers. It's clear in my opinion that there's a war on rappers because anybody with money, depending on their background, I'm sure in rock and roll there's some things going on. I'm sure in Hollywood there's a few things going on, but the rappers are getting the shitty end of the stick. Again, there's a war going on. They look at you as direct competition. They think you funding the liberation, like I spoke about. And that's because once they take one eyes and they get him over on the stock market, he ain't no more good to us. See, that's why I always talk to the Jason Wilsons, the Tony the Closers, these guys like that. Because once they grab you and whitewash you, you ain't no good to us no more. You still represent us and we with you, but you ain't valuable to us no more. You can't connect to us no more. You see what I'm saying? And you got to come and grab hold to the ghetto, because that's where the foundation of this at. And that's where the liberation at. Yeah, you up there talking to your other stock market buddies. All them know that shit. They finishing your sentences. When you go to talking, man, crypto, Shiba has grown. They just said 4%. And also, if you would have put 30,000, they finishing your sentences. They know what's going on in the ghetto when you say crypto, Shiba. They don't know. They saying, what's that, bro? Oh, man, it's digital currency. What's currency? Money. What's money? Oh, you talking about money? Like, yeah. It's changing, bro. What do you mean it's changing, man? The world can't change. See, y'all way up here. It's information, the basic shit that y'all feel what I'm trying to get you to understand. You feel me? And once they take you to the other side and they whitewash and send you back, it's almost like Dude and Get Out, where you looking like, damn, he black, but bro, what you doing, my boy? What you got going, family? And he just blank face. You don't get nothing out of him. You say, damn, we supposed to connect on. What's up? You got the new Lil Baby. You heard that new Lil Baby. Oh, man, something ain't right. This nigga here. You see Jay-Z now? He don't know nothing about nothing that's going on no more. They done took him on the other side and they done dunked his head in water and brought him back up and sent him back over there to us. But he useless now. He a shell of himself. Can't even communicate with the projects in the hood. And the less fortunate, the left out. Because when I say projects, they really don't want to communicate with the projects. But the left out, the least fortunate, the oppressed. You know, so the whole point I'm making, you know, is that if you really want to save some people, just get them basic things. Don't give them your course where your tips and tricks and all that. But it's some basic things that needs to be communicated to the hood, right? And so, you know, I like to act as an encyclopedia of sorts, you know, in this space, right? So when you go pull up an episode, there's something in there pertaining to some kind of information for something. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just looking at it, you know, and they'll see other sides of me as this thing evolves, but this is my natural state. You know, I'm a fixer. I'm a you understand, I'm one of them. But let's look at what ABC had to say about Fetty Wap getting arrested prior to going to Rolling Loud.
Wap facing federal drug charges after agents arrested the popular artist before he took the stage at Citi Field. The hip-hop artist, whose real name is William Maxwell, was taken into custody with 5 others at a music festival yesterday. One of the suspects is a New Jersey corrections officer. The group is charged with conspiring to distribute fentanyl and heroin across Long Island and New Jersey. Fetty Wap will be arraigned later today in Central Islip, Long Island.
And so they arrested him soon as he showed up to Rolling Loud Festival in New York, one of the biggest, if not the biggest festival that hip hop has to offer. Now, we'll get into why that is kind of unique in itself. Not that people are getting caught at Rolling Loud, but the way they're getting caught at Rolling Loud. Very unique situation. Let's look at one of the other reports, because that was the first report where it was unclear what they had him for. We knew it was the feds. We knew they grabbed 5 people, which mean they knew that he was traveling with a lot of the people that was involved in said whatever situation they claim to have. So let's look at another report to see if they have any more information. I was telling people, there's a market for fentanyl. A lot of people right now are looking for fentanyl. And for me, it's like, damn, how far have we dropped? How far have you dropped, man? Like, you're looking for what's gonna do it to you, which, again, the thrill of it is what I'm understood that they're chasing. But it's like, wow, bro. But again, classic case of, in my opinion, just, a couple things going bad. First of all, let's talk about Rolling Loud. Rolling Loud is, again, one of the biggest festivals that rap hip hop has to offer. So it has to be communication with officials, law enforcement, mayors of cities. We talking Soldier Field or one of these football stadiums outside. Thousands and thousands of people. If you can just imagine what it takes to do that. We ain't talking about booking Baby to come to the club or booking the Baby to come to the club. You don't see Drake really at them festivals, but we not talking about that. We talking about, I wonder why Young Thug wasn't there Rolling Loud. He just dropped the album, or was it? Because that would have been a good look for him. He should have been there. But they deal with these officials. They deal with these cities. They have to get certain permits, certain clearances. And in my opinion, because in the culture, they kind of have we hear Joe Budden and other people say that they kind of have a tendency or a scenario surrounding their name in which people continue to be arrested at their festival. And I'm wondering, are they running some kind of clearance that they're turning in all the names involved, the real names, who will be there, to the government, and they're running a check on everybody? Number one. Number two, I said whoever. They ain't doing nothing but making whoever on the other side, somebody that's working for them, is getting rich. Because you better believe somebody bringing the weed and this and that in there. Somebody got it in there. It just costs. And it probably costs. Look, man, I can get you a pound in there for such and such, or I'll have it when you get there, but it's a little high. You know what it go through to get. Niggas got to get behind there and have that. But ain't no way they ain't having it there. But I was looking at New York, and I seen on QC. Let me see if it's still there, so maybe I can put it on the screen for y'all. Okay, so here it is. What you're looking at is Rolling Loud. This is the level of checking that they're doing for people like QCP, which is one of the biggest record execs in our game right now. But this is the level of that you got to go through to get in Rolling Loud. You understand? And this is what I'm saying. You got dogs, people searching everything. These things are how they're doing. So what that says to me is there's a clear understanding where we stand in regards to law enforcement and in regards to, because first of all, we're running a multi-million-dollar thing and we got to have a cosign to do it. But that, when you look at that, it said, oh, so whoever is got the weed up there or getting it in or whatever, they getting rich. All them rappers up there, and they ain't letting no guns or weed or nothing. Somebody getting on the other side. And that's just how it is, because you're not paying the people that's working this enough to, you know what I mean? It just ain't happening. But, people say, do you think Rolling Loud is snitching or working with the police to arrest these people? And I'm going to say, yes, they are. They're turning in something with the names of the people that's going to be there. Then they're being informed that, hey, these people, we're going to pick them up. And they're doing it. Why do I say that? I say that because everything on Rolling Loud is on camera. I mean, you can see, every rapper in the world, every angle in the world, but there's not one sighting of Fetty Wap being arrested. There's not a TikTok, there ain't a video, there ain't a picture, there ain't nobody caught it, ain't no security, pulled nothing out. It's like they might have walked him into a room away from everybody just so they can do that where nobody saw it. Because you tell me in 2021, 22, where something ain't on camera of that magnitude. I imagine that to be a scene, arresting 5 people that you would say is responsible for 100 kilos of fentanyl and opioid stuff and things like that. I would imagine you got a lot of bag up to pick those gentlemen up, but nobody got a picture. Nobody got a video, which says to me, you ever been in the airport and they say, hey, yeah, you come this way. You be like, what is that? Yeah, it's tripping. You going there and they done got your bags in there. It's like, damn. So maybe they done something like that. Walked him, hey, Fetty, you come this way, meet us right here. He walk in, hey, such and such from the FBI, you are now arrested for such and such and such and such. You know what I mean? But what really pissed me off is like, if we want to be real about how the drug game work and how the streets work, you know, I don't care how tough you think these rappers is and who you think your favorite rapper is. When it comes to the drug world, most of these dudes is little boys. And what happens is a lot of these guys are plugged into some guys that's making $500,000 a week, a month, $2 million a month, things like that, and living like that for show. And when the rapper plug himself into it because he don't down his last 85,000, he not the face of it. But when he come tumbling down, he gonna be the face of it. You know why? He broke the seal when he got famous. That's why I tell people, well, what I'm doing now, I gotta have your support. I can't do nothing else. I done broke the seal. You understand? When people start to notice you for doing things, you become big as Fetty Wap was. Everybody look at fame and stardom and being a noticeable face as a blessing. But there's a curse attached to that. There's a burden attached to that. There's a weight attached to that. Yeah, it get heavy when you no longer where you were. You got 5, 6, 7 baby mamas. You no longer pop it with the 4, 5 records at one time going crazy. 85,000 a day. You could have made at least $100K a week for 18 months. You were going in. And then somebody turn your water on. The music stopped working. But I'm still Fetty Wap. That don't go nowhere. What I'm going to tell these folk? Yo, the music ain't working, bro. They just ain't listening. And I blew the bag I had. Yeah, all that money. First of all, my deal wasn't that good, so I didn't get as paid as much as you thought I did. But what I did get paid, I did run through it, though. Because most of the time they young. It's a reason why they don't want to sign acts that's a little older. He understand a little bit. We want them 18. They want to make it like it's about the youth. Nah, it's about the reality of the situation. You're able to pull a wool over eyes that's not looking. But you know me, I'm measuring twice and I'm cutting once. It's hard to put a hamburger, Salisbury steak on my plate and tell me it's a cowboy steak. It's rough to do that with me. But the 18-year-old, it might be a little different situation. But his burden attached to somebody saying, Fetty Wap being in that situation. In my opinion, the game supposed to make sure he was good. I always tell y'all, these folks don't care about what's going on. And hey, listen, I don't come to say I changed that in the game. I come to identify it and make sure I ain't a result of it. But I don't say I come to change the fact that, the game is the game, bro. Once you fall off, you better figure it out. Them folks ain't coming. Ain't nobody coming. Ain't nobody coming to do nothing with nothing that you got nothing to do with. So you better figure it out. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. But then I ask myself, the game supposed to done something for Fetty. I'm talking about 4, 5 song top. Number 1 this, number 1 that. It was just, He was doing so much. I hear a thing about Netflix. No disrespect to Netflix. The game is the game. I hear about the dude that made Squid Games, $900 million in. $900 million made. And that's what they can account for. Bootlegging, not even, when they get that down, it's over. But that don't even count bootlegging. That's $900 million that we saw come through. So that don't even consider the impact. That's why I tell a lot of podcasters and artists and music people, don't get discouraged because you got 5,000 views. That don't speak to the impact. That speak to you being able to centralize your audience. You ain't got there just yet. Maybe you don't understand that. But the impact, look at Squid Games. When I look at Fetty Wap, just down the street, I see Squid Games. A man that made a company $9 million and says that I'm still in the same contract. Now, I'm not rich yet. How is that possible? How is there nothing on the front end to protect the creator in case? Listen, it's something on the back end to protect the investor or the people that has the company in case. You know what's on the back end? A recoupment clause. By hell or high water, you owe this. And if it get too snazzy, we'll go to writing it off some kind of how. So the company be okay, but the creator, why on the front end, it ain't nothing to say. Listen, on the back end, man, listen, I know right now I ain't worth nothing and it's just an idea. But man, on the back end, let's put something in there that if it do go super duper crazy though, I'm talking about if it go crazy that that we modify that, there's an amendment to that. But that ain't a discussion because the game ain't set up for the creators, it's set up for the companies. I'm clearing my objectives now. Listen, I need fans and companies. Because with companies, what you do is, and I give y'all this game, what you do is, young creator, you get with the companies and create you a company. Become the companies and then become the change you want to see. Hopefully that penetrates the game and you get an abundance amount of traffic and influence amongst your target audience, hopefully. But the game ain't good. The game ain't really good to nobody, man. You got to be good in the game, but the game ain't good to you. You feel me? When you look at that, you know, situations like that dude made a lot of money for a lot of people. Now, who's to say he didn't jack his money off? I don't know. But again, when you plug in, right? So let's take it off Fetty Wap. Let's take it off Fetty Wap and talk about rappers, period. I know the fans have a perception of rappers that they are the biggest gangsters in the neighborhood, and they not. A lot of times the rappers plug in with people, especially when we talk about, you know, hustling. You know, getting some work off or making any kind of, you know, getting some bags in or whatever the situation is. It's somebody that's already moving in that arena and they kind of come and plug in. A lot of times, as they should stay away from it. Oftentimes what brings them to it is that they're plugged in mentally to somebody that has influenced them, that they can bring the last little bit of them driplets they got from the industry. That last million you got, bro, they got you down to your last 620,000, and you see I'm popping. I'm taking one, turning it into three, and it's still strong. I'm profiting 600,000 a month fucking with this, right? And they plug him into it, take a little load off of them a little bit, plus give them another mule. Everything is at risk for the rapper because you've been compromised. Your identity has been compromised. Your face, when they run your license tag, if you happen to be, we happen to be meeting somebody, over here in the Best Buy parking lot, and we go in here to the Starbucks right quick, and now it's a crowd around you. It's 10 bricks in the car. Like, you been compromised. You useless to the dope game. All you rap dudes, is your money good, but you better learn how to do that. Because you useless in the dope game, Slime. You can't, listen, it's a lose-lose, dog. But I know what's happening. People are convincing these guys. You know why? They don't know how to stop. They don't understand the game is over with. They always say the man that places his eyes on 2 rabbits catches none. Right? But it's unfortunate when you build yourself a lifestyle that's really unmanageable. When you're dealing with a rapper, right, that's popping, like when I look at the Baby, Lil Baby, Young Thug, Drake is unique because he been popping so long, it seemed like it ain't gonna turn off. But we know at some point it'll turn off. But he's something different. But when I look at a lot of the rappers that's popping, right, Bag and all these dudes got it, everybody making a lot of money, I know that the reign of that, you at the top right now. So you at the top right now. This about the most that's gonna happen, right? So at some point you gonna land somewhere. And if your lifestyle that you've built along the way has swallowed that you currently sit in, meaning your finances can't handle the lifestyle anymore, because now instead of making $65,000 a month or $150,000 a month, you now making $21,000 from them checks that come in the mail or your TuneCore, whatever the situation is, right? So they done took you down to $400,000-$500,000 a year when you done built your lifestyle on $5 million a year. That means every year you go deeper in the hole. And then you try to wrestle with the music, keep wrestling with the music. We see it with rappers all the time. They gonna remain nameless, but yo, bro, you gotta stop rapping and open some businesses. You gotta take some slow money, build some shit up, cause all you keep doing is rapping. That ain't working no more. And you going broker as you doing it, cause you steady more trying to look like them. See, because this the unfortunate thing with the rapper, right? When you go to the top, all the fans take a picture of you right there. So anything other than that, they compare it to that. And by us being human beings, we feel that. So in some weird way, we like, yo, I gotta still make them think is up though. Like they gotta think it's still up with me. Cause it say, man, can't nobody tell me if you really, really break your life down and simplify things that you can't live off $500,000 a year or $300,000-$400,000 a year if you simplify everything. What happens is I'm the big rapper, so when I pull up, I gotta pull up in the lamb chop. That motherfucker busting my head $12,000 a month. Lord have mercy. But they still ain't charging me at the club. They ain't caught on. It's weird what happens. It's a disease. It's a disease, bro. Again, we got to assume that nobody has the information. I don't care what these other rappers say or what these dudes say. I don't care about you selling things that make people say you're a financial guru until I see it work for somebody that I know I can't count on it. I'm in the real estate right now. Right now, today. Not after I talk to nobody. Today. Shout out my uncle. We in real estate right now. We been in a home renovation. We in transitional homes right now to this day. So I could, put a little fake course together. That's why I know. That's why I'm saying I'm praying that ain't what's happening out there. But I don't buy it, so I don't know. I'm going to talk to these dudes and pick their brain and see. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only way we're going to get to know. It's sad to see Fetty Wap in this situation. Dude got children, placed himself in a situation where he got to keep a lot of money rolling in. And, man, we pray for him. And And we'll see when the evidence rolls out how strong the Fed's case is. Okay, I want to talk about this because you know I'm a student of the game. I've been on my information kick. I'm trying to pull myself back into music, right? Of course, I got an album tape out right now. I like to leave things like Easter eggs, like, yo, bro, I never knew you was you know, so I don't speak on it a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I keep those businesses separate. You know, I do that intentionally. So don't think I'm missing the point or some weird shit like that's going on. I do this intentionally. The ones that like my music, they like my music. The ones that like the podcast, like the podcast. At some point, that'll be a show all in one. We'll do a podcast and a show of music. So that's my goal. That's my short-term goal with my current brand. Nonetheless, I've been listening to rap. And I've been digesting it, and something popped up that made me say, man, rap is such a crazy thing. And I said, damn, it's crazy how the people that's in close proximity of you really do influence the market around you. And I say that to say, when you look at the landscape of rap, you can tell the popping cities in rap by their local scene. There's a huge gap between like a local artist from Memphis or Atlanta or let's say Houston or the Bay or somewhere like that that's popping musically. There's a huge gap between those artists and an artist, let's say, from a small city. There's a huge gap, meaning what he sounds like, what his mix sounds like, what his production is, the features he can get on this low tier level, or the people he can rub shoulders with, the representation he can get, right? I heard 5 dudes from 5 different places on one song. And I'm like, oh shit, he come on killing it. I'm like, oh, I looked in him, he from Atlanta. Oh shit, he from Atlanta. The nigga that I heard that was kind of he was from, I think it was where was they from? I can't think of where he from a small town. From a small town. He was cool, but just the way that they came in, the cadence and all that, it's like they I don't know, just like in Memphis. You deal with some of them local dudes in Memphis, them dudes sounding like they popping. You know, every city got popping artists and dudes that can do it. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying from a general standpoint, there's a huge gap between the local artists that's from, say, an Atlanta, a Memphis, a Houston, a Bay Area, even a New York in some cases, but sometimes that ain't the same. But there's a huge gap in between those two local acts. So if you bring a local act from Timbuktu and a local act from Atlanta and they do a talent show, a lot of the times the local act from the market that has a lot of music booming and more engineers and more managers and more studios and more video guys, you can actually see the results of that in the actual music. And when I was looking at that, I was like, yo, that's so dope how you plant a seed and watch it really grow. Even if it ain't money, sometimes it's just the foundation that's being laid down in that area is just so solid that if you need a publicist, it's one. I know one. If you need a lawyer, it's one over there. If you need a place to shoot a video where it ain't just outside with your gun, it's over there. Man, we got a radio station. They letting you come up there. They doing Wednesday night, and they'll let you, you know. It shows in the music. Now, some of these small areas, visibility is an issue. So they can be killing it in their little area, and it's like, how do you go to the next level? I think I understand how it just takes the right moment, and I've saw a lot of people let the moment pass them by. But being prepared for the moment is a beautiful thing. I said that to say them Atlanta dudes and a lot like Memphis and Atlanta niggas, they'll get on a song and they'll fuck over you on your song. You a little local nigga and go take one of them young niggas 1,500 cause you and him kind of about got the same amount of followers. man, he might jump on your record and fuck over you, man. You can't let them Atlanta and Memphis niggas fuck over y'all. Indian niggas, y'all gotta step it up, man. If you know you getting on a record with one of these Memphis or Atlanta niggas, man, you better go and come with it.
He said, hell yeah, this is what I'm waiting for. You hear me? Cruz probably made a countless night. Fuck the money, the opportunity. He changed his family life. He doing better than he was because he sat in that studio by himself and sat there and not got paid and ran into a Meek Mill and then caught that job. He making money 3, 4 in the morning. He charged $60, $70 an hour. There's some real shit going on because he went and got the opportunity. We have to learn that part in the hood, and that's what I be wanting to put on my people. I be wanting some young niggas to know, like, they talking about 20,000. Yo, bro, you ain't got 6 videos. I went back and checked. This nigga ain't got 8 videos on YouTube. You wasn't even worth 20,000, nigga. You ain't got 8 videos.
No, he worth more than 20.
And I pray for that young guy. This ain't here to tear nobody down.
He worth more than 20.
Meek,
I want to add something.
Say that again. Hold on, bring that back. What you say?
I said Pound worth more than 20.
How? So if I put out, look, I'm about to tell you, if I spend $50,000 on Pound Side, how would I get it back in the next year?
What you mean on stream, shows,
you couldn't make it back.
No, but streams, like to actually collect Swiss, how much streams do you got to get to fucking make back $50,000?
It's other stuff than music.
I feel like if you
get more bread back.
I got a different point I want to.
But if you sign him,
let's get to the bottom. Like Swiss, before we get past
if you sign him and he ask him to get a percentage of all that money in return, then it's gonna be like he in a fucked up deal. Like if you're trying to get his merch money, his show money and all that shit, then niggas gonna stand down. He put him in a 360.
But if he doing some numbers now without any backing and anybody or money behind him, don't you feel like you could have elevated that somehow?
I ain't gonna lie, niggas look at the money too much and don't look at the opportunity. I think
there you go.
The problem. Like I don't think it because I didn't sign niggas like I got niggas signing me that I done gave 20,000, but I done gave them ownership to everything they own. They only got to pay me 30% of their shit up until they recoup. Then it's 80-20, like so. It's more like the opportunity, bro. It ain't really just about the money, bro. Because a nigga,
we also gotta understand 20,000 street niggas that have that.
Look,
20,000 from Meek Mill and 100,000 from a label is. I'd rather take the 20,000 from Meek Mill because the exposure
now
giving me and all the other.
Let him finish, Meek. Let him finish.
So we just bumped into a conversation as I'm trying to look up something on the Meek Mill, talking about his contract thing, because that's where we're going with the conversation. And we bump into this very unique conversation. I was going to cut it out, but I know some of y'all would like to hear this. This is good shit because you get to see what Meek mindset was when he got put under fire for offering someone $20,000. And then we can go into speaking about his mindset now as he's evolved into, a staple in the game and wanting to modify his current deal and wonder how much being spent or took from him.
Go ahead, Savage.
You could tell Meek from the fucking hood, but go ahead.
Nah, like what I was basically saying, like it more so be like the opportunity, bro. Like Meek signed to Rick Ross for $0, bro. It ain't really always about the money, like. And I feel like niggas put too much emphasis on the advance of what you getting right now. Like if you betting on yourself, nigga, fuck the advance. Anyway. We finna run this money up, so I don't even care about the advance. When a nigga just be stuck on the advance, it's like. Do you really believe in yourself? Because I'm a hustler. Like, I don't care what position I'm put in. I'm going to make some out of nothing, bro.
Wait. One month.
I'm going to be real quick. But I also think the messaging. So, like, see if Meek, you know what I'm saying, from the chess aspect, go ahead, let him play himself out and hit him with that as the response. Cause you ain't even got 6 videos on YouTube. What make you think you worth more than that? As opposed to
what's somebody gonna do with 20,000?
But hold on.
So it's not even about the
video. One mic. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like saying what is a nigga gonna do with 20,000? What is a nigga gonna do with $1 million if he ain't got no hustle? What's the difference,
Build
bro?
it, build the
If
team,
I-
and
if
we
I-
go,
if I-
and we
if
go,
I-
and we go start working.
if I get
Build the team, and we go start working.
if I get
Bill.
500,000, right, and you got 2 videos on YouTube, and you ain't got no dedication, and you ain't no worker, nigga, the 500,000 gonna be gone just as fast as the 20,000.
And all I'm
If not
saying
faster.
and all I'm saying
bad
is
investment.
Or explain it to a motherfucker too. Like you got 20,000, but you got an opportunity to get around all these motherfuckers.
No,
Store,
can y'all let
you
me
got-
finish this out? Y'all never let me finish this.
gotta let
20,000.
everybody
Listen,
talk.
listen. Let me finish this one thing. A $20,000 deal in pocket with $90,000 followed up into your production, studio time, and videos. That is the contract on paper. 20,000 is for your pocket, so you can get the fuck up and move out of Philadelphia where
That
niggas
ain't
getting smoked
respectable.
100 miles an hour.
You gonna be back in Philly next week.
No,
So
who's
why
saying that?
y'all
Who's
don't
saying
sign
this?
them then? Y'all need to sign them.
Who's saying this?
Look, man. Hold on.
Who is saying
Hold on.
this?
Wait. Hold on.
When you-
Hold on.
You still got considered a
Hold on.
Let me
Something
talk.
that. Hold on. One mic. Let him talk.
5,000.
I want to give a game to the artist, right? I don't want to speak in specific to nothing that's going on in this particular conversation, but I just want to talk to the artist and piggyback off what 21 is saying. Y'all got to understand, like, getting y'all first deal was like
No, but if y'all in
contract.
this room,
Hold on,
Let him talk, Meek.
Let
Let him talk, Meek.
me just say one thing.
Bro. When you in this room, like when you got people saying shit like this, what you gonna do with 20,000? That's some nigga shit. Nigga, I started with, didn't I just tell y'all I was spending my last 5,000 in the studio and I made Flamers too? That's what you could do with 20,000.
Hey,
I did it with five.
So I just want to say this: when y'all get y'all deal, and just look at that shit like a rookie contract. Like you still got to come in the game and work to get that long-term deal. That
Look. Let's use Chino as an example. Chino, how much did you sign to me for?
My man, they said no.
It's zero. But Chino got a movie on fucking HBO Max with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
And that's the point I'm trying to basically point out to y'all. Like, just understand.
So, right there we get to see Meek Mill's position when he put out a tweet and said, yo, I'll sign some of these Philly dudes if they stop beefing. And then it was a downpour of backlash, about that. And people just saying, yo, how can you say that 20,000 ain't nothing, this and that and the third. The specifics of that, I can't get into, 20 grand and, you stand next to dude every day, all day, and you get to work, kind of in them areas he in. Like if one of them dudes put you in the car with them, they don't have to give you no money. You got to start hustling, and especially if they give you free reign. Listen, you can kind of book me and pitch. Really, they don't got to give you free reign. You right there with their manager and everything, so you got access to things. So you can, interviews, certain little shit like we in this town, tap in, You'll see people in folks' entourage when they hit the town, tap in. If you talking the right play, they'll get it to dude, and then he'll make something off of it. But somebody like me with all of the things I do, if I'm on tour with a nigga, I'm sure to have, he gonna have to start paying me to host. I'm finna, let me host it, bro. Let me host this one, see how they react. And then I got them, if I get them piped up, man, start paying me for that. I got my camera crew. I got my production team. You know what I'm saying? On my behalf. But if you need them, they here. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be hustling with that. But I would say, Ross did the right thing with Meek. He wrapped his arm around Meek in a way where he gave Meek a real cosign. Like I tell people, they in this game, they want a cosign, but they don't know what the cosign look like. Because you get somebody number or something like that ain't the cosign. The cosign when they wrap their arm around you like Meek, like Ross did Meek. When that I'm a Boss came out, I was piping hot. I wrapped my arm around you, got on this record, and it went up. You know what I'm saying? Or how I continue to support you and throw you on records, put you in the room here, put you in the room there, try to help you out. Luckily, I bet you Meek Mill got a lot of respect and love for Jay, because it's like Jay took him to the next level. Some people try to tell me that Jay did that because him and Drake thing, but I think Jay genuinely wanted to see somebody, be in a good position. And Meek was carrying the torch, and then he also pivoted and got to messing with the owners of the 76ers and things like that. So he's placed himself in a good place in regards to his brand and things like that. He's doing well there. But I think he kind of wants out his deal. I wonder when will he fulfill his deal. He said he'll put the details out. They never came out. But you know, he seemed to be making a lot of money. I'm not sure where he currently sits with his label or with Ross. I'm not sure. A lot of people try to say, you know, he's not talking about the white people. He's talking about Ross. But I would think he probably talking about both situations. But them boys are boss up, figured out, combed through it. One thing I can say about Ross, I've never seen him respond to it. I've never seen him respond to it because it's rough. I put my arm around you. I can't fall victim to arguing with you on the internet like that. You know, man, it's just unfortunate, man. Cause them two together, it was a cool thing. You know what I'm saying? It was a cool vibe they had. That was a moment in time. You know what I mean? Ross and Meek together and this and that. But see, the coin flips sometimes. Like you know, he needed Ross then. Let's not mistake this. He needed Ross then. This ain't no by coincidence. He needed that. He was popping. He was doing his little thing in his region. But we know what you need to be tagged into this game. You know what I'm saying? You can stay in that little region forever in the day. Somebody got to come wrap their arm around you. Or a company. Somebody got to wrap their arm around you, though. And that's for sure. We seen Keisha Cole also come out and say the same thing. Saying that, so for the record, what Meek said was, I have never received a royalty check. Asked the label how much they pay out for me as an artist and asked them how much they make from me as an artist. Then again, Keisha Cole came out and said, and Meek Mill also said something about some auditing attorneys, as we see Joe Budden them with the podcast where it went through that. So he's speaking on auditing, and Keisha Cole tweeted out, I haven't received checks either. And we should audit some people. Then she corrected that and said Jimmy Iovine them gave her $10 million. So she got some money as well as Meek. They got some money, but the contract doesn't feel right as they sent it a different place than they sat when they signed that actual contract. Again, it needs to be a way to amend those. 1, 2, rappers got to stop building a certain lifestyle while that money's popping so hard. That money will stop. You will land that plane somewhere, right? And you better hope that the lifestyle you've created is either paid for or sustainable once you land this plane where you're getting this astronomical amount of money, you know, because it won't last forever. You know what I mean? Now, you can have waves if you're somebody like Jay-Z, Diddy, 50, P. You know, these dudes have had waves, right? You know, even we see Kevin Durant closing in on a lot of business deals. You know, Dre, he's had a second wave with the Beat by Dre thing, but you got to have waves. You know, the rap wave is one wave. That won't last forever, so you better figure something out, man. And sometimes, again, I think they just build themselves a lifestyle that may not be sustainable when that plan lands. And they find themselves in a situation where by default they're going broke just by pure intake and output. You know, and so that's why I want to speak to people like Earn Your Leisure and things like that, man, to get some game out and simplify some of these very complex things that may be viewed as too rough for some people, right? But we'll get to the bottom of that. Let's see what else we want to get into. DJ Academics. Last week I spoke about DJ Academics saying that he made more money than Joe Budden in the media space. And when I got done with that podcast, I thought about something else because, again, Act makes a lot of money off Instagram, did a few things with Complex, now his situation with Spotify. But when you dealing with Joe Budden, do you remember Joe Budden probably one of the first podcasts to tour? You know what they may have brought in on that tour? They did 3 legs, I think. Twice, 2, 3 times. They went on tour for podcasting. and you talking about your Instagram posts. Respectfully, we got to put it in context. Y'all hear me? I'm critical of information. I don't never want to debate the person. I want to debate the topics and the information. I want to talk about the information, never about individuals. That's why I hope they don't personalize what I say. But I got to be disruptive in my approach. It's just how that has to work. You better put in perspective what a tour does financially. It's very low output. It's almost all intake. Almost all intake, bro. I mean, you got to travel with your things, but you got parks there that does everything. So don't say you make more money than somebody you never even been on tour. That's weird to say, bro. Or you just so caught up in your Twitch thing and this and that, bro. It's these dudes is taking one chicken nugget and dunking that motherfucker 5 times. They getting paid out one thing 4-5 different times, man. They done laid the blueprint down, man. Look at Nori and them. They killing it. Nori and them is killing podcasting right now. Killing it. As far as, being able to eat here, eat there, eat there, eat there. Big Facts, killing it. Same kind of blueprint. Gill and Wallow and them, they more so is under that umbrella, but killing it. It's business being done in this media place that don't revolve around charging people to post on Instagram. It's business being done in this media space that don't revolve around hot or not, trash or bump it, all that. It's people putting real deals and work in place. It's sponsorships happening. It's shit happening. So don't look at this podcast space and say, oh, he don't got that many followers. Yo, bro, some people impact go past what you see on the Instagram. Some people is affecting the people that you want to influence. So again, in this podcast space, be careful when you quick to say that you the king of how much money is being made, because a lot of business is being done. A lot of business is being done in this podcast space that you may not account for if you caught up in self too much. You never know. You never know, because bro, look around. Look around. I'm in line. I'm just waiting on I got my tray out. I'm in line. I ain't up there where all them at, but I'm right here in line. I'm about number 36. They about at number 19 right now, passing the chips out. And I'm cutting line with little shit I'm doing. Yeah, get up some little more. Until one of them up there say, maybe somebody up there see what I'm doing. Bruh. And I done skipped line. But yeah, when it come to podcasting, if you put them all in line, it's a lot going on, brother. So respect the game. This thing is evolving, and it's seeming like certain people ain't considering what this thing has evolved to and currently and where it's going. Because when you look at the landscape of podcasting and media, Instagram is a beautiful thing. Some of y'all still YouTube hustling. People still talking to me about whether your YouTube numbers is high and low. We Facebook hustling too now. Yeah, Facebook is a thing now. So it's about how you figure out where you want to land at and where you want to unpack. I ain't even unpacked yet. I'm just punching in little spots. I ain't even unpacked yet. But when it come to podcasting or media, you gotta respect when you see these deals being made and where these people landing. It's Up There Podcast gonna continue to hustle and try to make it happen. That's for sure. Logan Paul. Let's talk about Logan Paul. I've been paying attention to Logan Paul and what those guys are doing. And I want to say this. Logan Paul is doing what he think Floyd Mayweather done, but he's wrong. Right? He going through picking his opponents like his new opponent, right? He got a new dude he fighting that's 7-0. And of course they're promoting the fight as, this dude's 7-0. But this dude opponents is like 4-200. So the 7 people he beat done lost 200 fights and only one, and those numbers are not on the nose, but it just shows me like how they're able to, You know, because hey, if he's a black dude, in 7 fights in doesn't work. I don't think Javante, Deontay Wilder, none of them really started making nothing till they were 30 fights in undefeated. 24. At least a dub, at least 20-something fights undefeated. Now we can take you serious. But see, they are already trying to frame this 7-0. You know what I'm saying? So again, keep your eyes up. Keep your eyes open out there. It's a lot of trickery going on. When you're paying attention, you're able to point it out. And you know shit from sugar. You know what I'm saying? But just think about that. And people will watch it. People will probably watch it. I even heard talking about one of them, maybe Jake, is supposed to be fighting Mike Tyson. You going down. He just going to run up to you and start hitting you. You know what I'm saying? And do a couple of them combos. Because that's all you really got to do. You know what I'm saying? Couple of them combos. And boom, pop, boom, pop, boom, pop. Here's you gonna start moving your hands and trying to stop a nigga, and nigga gonna catch you. Blue up is over with. You going down. Down goes Paul. You understand me? All right, so this next part of the show, before we get out of here, we're gonna talk about something that happened in Kentucky. Very strange situation. I'm finding out about this on the fly as I'm in tune and speaking with you guys. So let's learn about this on the fly, and let's unpack what we can see here on the surface and see exactly why some of these strange things will be happening. In Kentucky, there seems to be an investigation at a school surrounding the demasculation of boys and the masculation of some women. 1 second.
An investigation is underway at Hazard High School in Perry County after images taken during a homecoming event were posted online. Now, they include pictures of students in lingerie and bikinis dancing on teachers.
The school is receiving backlash on social media from parents who are calling the incident inappropriate and disturbing. LEX 18 Sophia Millar hears from them, and one parent who says the photos don't tell the whole story. Now, we do want to warn you, some of you may find some of these images disturbing. Details now in the LEX 18 Big Story at 6.
The pictures were originally posted on the Hazard High School Athletics Facebook page, but have since been removed. We have blurred the faces of students to protect their privacy. We are told it was part of homecoming week celebrations. Tuesday was costume day, and there was a man pageant in the gym. These are some of the images receiving the most criticism. They appear to show scantily clad students giving lap dances to faculty and staff. Others showed female students dressed in Hooters costumes, carrying mugs that looked like there was beer in them. And in others, students and staff appear to spank or paddle each other.
It was just really shocking whenever I first saw it, and I almost couldn't wrap my head around it.
Hazard mom Jenna Smith has a family member at the high school and kids in the district. She says the event should have been shut down the moment an adult realized students were undressing.
I think that they should have at that point said, hey, I know this is a joke, but let's stop. This isn't appropriate.
Mom Holly Lane disagrees.
It has been taken completely out of context. There are only photos being shown on the internet, no videos. So the photos don't show the teachers pushing the children off of them.
Lane's sons and his friends participated in the homecoming event. She says pushing the limits and embarrassing teachers is part of the fun.
If everybody is perfect, then I would say, yeah, maybe we need to rethink something. But until somebody can prove that something is going on here, other than just homecoming week and teenagers being teenagers, then I'll support my kids.
The way that I think about it is I think that, yes, the kids should just be kids and they should be allowed to have fun. But is giving a lap dance or witnessing somebody else give an adult a lap dance, is that a child appropriate activity? And to me, it is not.
Lane says she doesn't believe a line was crossed.
None of my children have been hurt. None of the teachers have been hurt.
Hazard Independent School Superintendent Sandra Combs says the district is looking into the incident.
The district is investigating the incident, and after the investigation is complete, appropriate action will be taken.
The administrators in the pictures is Hazard High School Principal Donald Happy Mobilini. He's also the mayor of Hazard. We reached out to Principal Mobilini this morning and have not received a response. The superintendent says no further information will be released until the investigation is complete. In Perry County, Sophia Millar, LEX 18 News.
So for me, right, that's I would be concerned. I wonder was all the parents and where I would love to interview one of the parents. I wonder was all the parents aware of what quote unquote costume that their children would be wearing at this pep rally or party or whatever it may be. Let's see if we can catch a video of some of it. So as you see on the screen there, if you're listening to the audio, go to FOGFO TV. These are children bagging it up on adults, paddling going on. Like, this is weird to me. Like, I don't see how this is being viewed as some sort of party. If my child was there, I would have an extreme issue with things like this. That's the school. Here are some girls in Hooters clothing, which Hooters brand is like a revealing type of situation, right? They want you to know that, hey, women are women here, and the short shorts and things like that. I don't see how that's appropriate. But if you look in here, you're able to see that some of the things that took place, a very unfortunate situation. We'll take a break and then we'll come back. Give us just a second and keep it locked. Keep it locked. And we're back. Just like that, we're back. Let me give a round of applause, man. And I have a announcement. Actually, I have a few announcements. This one I want to make because I know in this podcast I may have mentioned these gentlemen as I was trying to reach out to them, right? We want to give a big round of applause and shout out to Earn Your Leisure podcast. Y'all put it together for Earn Your Leisure. We just got off the phone with them. They are currently in Africa. Shout out to them dudes doing the real work. They will be appearing on this Up There podcast to inform the ghetto of some of that very important information that I spoke about earlier, and just being able to recognize that, hey man, there's some people that ain't even that far, when you going, because these dudes do the real work. You go on they Instagram right now, they explaining something that's happening in the job world, right? I think with 401k or whatever the case is, it's something new thing that's happening. They're explaining it. But it's some people that get there and can't understand that language, and then so that's where we come in at, to be able to try to bridge the gap and try to get some people that's behind caught up to where we currently sit with crypto, where we currently sit with some of these things, and have a very base level conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be so dope. So you're gonna want to get your pen and your pad out and write some things down, because it's gonna be a lot of game given out in that podcast. And again, it's not the only announcement that we have, but I had to go ahead and let that one out the bag. I'm very inspired. I'm very interested. I'm very appreciative of those guys honoring the request and coming on this Up There podcast to try to speak to the ghetto or some of the people that's kind of behind in regards to the financial literacy, the language, just some of the basic information, and also hoping some of you guys tap in with them to be able to keep up with them. Because where they at right now, you got to have a certain level of information to dance with them. They try to go low as they can go, but some of that ground level information is missing, and we'll definitely comb through that. So shout out Earn Your Leisure for sure, and we'll get that done. Now back into the podcast. I'm coming off the heels of the Jada Pinkett situation. The Jada Pinkett situation was clickbait. It was a fake narrative. She didn't directly speak to Will Smith's behavior in the bedroom. And And so, you know, I took that for what it's worth. What it did show me, or what I do take from it, and you know me, I tend to try to examine things from a different perspective and just place myself in a situation to not only look at the game for what's being presented, but try to figure out what's involved with it. You know, so when I see something like Jada having a conversation about something like that, that's in my opinion undeniable. You know, being in a relationship for a long time and keeping that flame lit, we gotta understand that it'll burn out. That's just how this works, right? So you have to have a conscious effort. A conscious effort is that, and that's why, again, I'm gonna have to speak with Jason Wilson. He talks about giving your woman access to your heart. That was a powerful thing, right? Because some of us don't even have access to our hearts. Some of us don't even have access to our hearts. We don't even know how to locate the love or accept it or understand it, right? So that's a beautiful thing. But when you deal with relationships, and I see something like Jada and Will happen, you know, again, just understanding that that's the situation. Like, you know, having sex with the same person for a long time, things have to spicing up. That's a fact. What I did take from it and draw from it and receive from it is that the internet is now placing these two black individuals in a very unique situation. Now, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett are some of the greatest people that we have in regards to entertainment. If we just go off class and, you know, certain things like that, you know, the personal life is the personal life. You know, I don't mix and blend those. You understand me? Especially when I deal with Will Smith, we talking a scholar. Yeah, we talking a certain cloth of individual right there. Will Smith is. But the situation is, you know, as I examine and as I look through it and as I say what we have here, I said, damn, they using his wife against him at this point. They using the person that you love the most against you. And somewhere along the lines in the back of my mind, I think Will probably told her how some of this stuff would unfold, right? When she may have went to him about something, or he may have just gave her free reign, but at this point it feels like it's hurting his brand. It feels like that they're using Jada Pinkett, or however you say her name, to ruin or damage her own husband's brand. That then leads me down another road to like, whoa, I wonder, is this leaking into the house? We pray it don't get into the house, but everybody say, you know, the girl you get with the girl and you know, you be like, yo, don't respond to that on the internet. The internet is the internet. They gonna internet. You know, and she may tell you, I will not be held hostage by people on the internet. It won't affect me, da-da-da-da-da. And in your mind, you like, yo, that's a lie. But you want to honor people's perspective, right? So even though it involves you like, man, just do what you want to do. But I'm telling you what'll probably be and she run to the internet with something. And then now you look at it and you dealing with the consequences of now they using you against me. I told you what will happen. I told you what these folk were gonna do. When you went out there and told them folks whatever it is I told you what they were gonna do. And now I gotta keep cleaning up the mess to the point where they taking things that you didn't even say and wrapping my brand around them. We talking I'm iRobot, I'm Men in Black, I'm Bad Boys, I'm Fresh Prince. And every so often they wrap you around me with a negative force field. Something that make me look less of a man, something that make me look like a fool, something that make me. And in the house, we may be holding hands praying we're going to get through. But man, when does it leak in here? When do I show up on set and the people looking funny and they talking about it and they whispering and I'm still a human. Like, I'm comfortable in my skin, but I'm still noticing that they using the only person that I gave access to my heart against me. And that's why I present a question to Mr. Jason Wilson. When you give access to your heart to a person and they mismanage the way that they should handle it, right? To the point where we got to start worrying about intentions versus impact. And we all know that sometimes when you're dealing with somebody you love, they'll hang on to the intentions. Well, I didn't mean to. Well, what am I supposed? I didn't mean for it to. They know it's love attached to the consequences, right? So they lean on that. And the only way you can lean on that, Mr. Wilson, is how? If I give you access to my heart. So now here I am, Will Smith, in the middle of a tornado that I didn't create. The only person I gave access to my heart is now being used against me, whether or not she's even speaking about me, whether or not she's even being detrimental in her communication about me, it's still being used against me. The only one, the only person that I gave access to my heart. Now, to be fair, she played into this. You know, when the August thing comes out, I'm quiet. I'm over here acting like, ain't you ever seen a motherfucker that's act like you know, they watching you steal, or they watching you because they think you steal, but they trying not to look at you. But it's obvious you ain't comfortable. Something wrong with you. You know, you might be in a store and they might be, you know, look you like, yo, ain't nothing up there. What he looking at, dude? What he doing? What dude doing? He watching us. That's what Will was doing the whole time. Her shit crumbling. You know, but I'm going to keep acting normal and smiling and keep being Will Smith and doing funny videos and this and that. I'm going to still be doing that. But at what point am I affected by what's happening? We live in a blissful, imaginary world when we tell each other we're going to be okay or it won't affect us. But at what point I'm going to deal with reality? Everywhere I go, they saying something about it. Like we're going through something that's different, but she played into it. You come out and you talk about August. You make that known publicly. All the young girls are saying, girl, yeah. You know, a lot of them girls, if you take money and status and love and everything out the window, some of them girls will say, girl, yeah, if I'm 50, I want to be sleeping with a 22-year-old. But you dealing with false pretenses on the internet. You dealing with something but it can seep into reality. That's what's dangerous about what's happening with it. Because what's happening in this virtual place is really causing reactions in reality. You know, but you got to think, Jada Pinkett dealt with Tupac. You come out and how much you love Pac and nobody was like him. And I hear a lot of people criticize Jada, you know, for her admission in, you know, how she felt about Pac, where they stood and things like that. I want to say this to y'all. Your old lady couldn't have shook Tupac. We talking about Tupac. You know what he was doing at 22? He would rebuild and shit, all that talk, poetry talk and this and that. We talking about that dude. Yeah, if your old lady got with Pac, she couldn't have shook Pac either. The unfortunate part about it is that for men, or at least for me, man, that's uncomfortable, man. Listen, I be looking, you know, I'm trying to make sure ain't no resemblance of no old relationship on no woman. Because in my opinion, it feel like you in somebody else's house. You know what I mean? I can't be dealing with you and you can't get over whatever that is. That make me feel like what I'm providing ain't nothing. I don't know what that's like, though. I've never dealt with it, but I check for it. If I'm going to take you serious, if If we just, catching flights, then that's that. But if I'm taking you serious, you got to be over whatever, you can't be still in love with somebody. And the only reason, because they died, and Lord, if he was here, I'd be married to him. Like, I don't want to be involved with that. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though I'm enough man for you and somebody else, but I'm going to be for you. So I don't want to be involved with nobody, devaluing my position in their life. You placing me behind I'm number 2. You know what I mean? And number 2 ain't my size shoe. You know what I mean? So now we not gonna be able to do that. But every so often, she comes out and says something, and it just shows you, man, the internet, because this not only happens to famous people, this happens to regular individuals. The internet use your people against you. The internet will go to telling. That's why you try to inform your woman or your man, whoever you deal with, that don't run to the internet with that. Them folks don't care, and they gonna influence this. Yeah, we gonna sit behind these cameras and behind this thing and act like they not influencing nothing we got going on, man. We not studying them. But when the noise get loud enough, or they hit something that's got a little truth to it, the mind is a you know what I mean? Once you hear it, once you see it, it stains the brain. It takes a certain amount of, and we don't know the effects of social media. So I'm always erring on the side of safety. Can't nobody definitively say what happens with this stuff that we're dealing with. I know we all just accept it as normal now, but this is gonna change things. And you can accept that or not, but I'm telling you, and I don't want to take everybody out with that, but this is gonna change things. Let's talk about Jay-Z. Jay-Z was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is a great feature for someone from my community. Him along with LL Cool J. I see Jay-Z kind of drowning out LL because the culture seems to be very proud of Jay and what he's accomplished, rightfully so. You got people like LL that's accomplished a lot too. But the magnitude is different. You're dealing with Jay, you're dealing with several different things. And so it was a unique night for Jay. It was something that I would imagine was special. Jay has seemed to mold himself and fully come into this role as cool, calm, collected, but a representative of the community. You know what I'm saying? And he seems to stand firm in that. Him did it. Certain people have now morphed into like the Thanoses of hip hop, right? And they stand up there and they handle business in all these different arenas and put a great representation out of what could be coming from hip hop. Because we see the other side. Again, it's a war on rappers. We see the other side. You're going to always get the RICO charges. You're going to always get the Hobbs Act. You're going to always get the federal indictments and things of that nature coming down, intent to distribute this, that, and the third. You're going to always get that representation from rap. Shots fired here, somebody killed here. You're going to get that. It's important to see Jay-Z at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's important to see him stand next to the dude, Jeff Bezos. It's important to see Diddy go up and tell Viacom, hey, man, what we doing? Or Comcast. Well, hey, man, what we doing, Xfinity? It's important to see them operate outside of cussing and rapping and, this, that, and the third. It's so important. And so we always applaud that. We're going to look at a clip. Jay-Z gave props to Dame Dash in a very unprecedented, no, I don't say unprecedented, Jay-Z took a very shocking stance and gave Dame Dash praise at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech. Let's look at a little bit of it.
I think I'll take this moment to feel so honored to be celebrated in such a way. Thank you, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's an incredible honor. Growing up, we didn't think inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's a little feedback, so excuse me. We were told that hip hop was a fad, and much like punk rock, it gave us this anti-culture, this sub-genre, and there were heroes in it. And these heroes in it, when I was thinking of what I was going to say tonight, these heroes just kept coming to my mind. Rakim.
Yes.
Big Daddy Kane.
Yes.
And KRS-One.
That's right. Yes.
And of course, the fellow, I don't know where he is, the fellow in Dundee.
This is evolved. This is a man that has evolved.
And I watch these guys, and you know they have big rope chains, and
You get chills hearing somebody come from the gutter and get to do this, man. You're dealing with
black and green medallions, and whatever they wore, everybody would wear the next day. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be like those guys. And so I set out on my journey. Right now,
excuse the audio, you guys. We're working with a bootleg version, but we gotta get this out. Shout out. He's showing his mother, I believe, that if you're looking on the screen or if you're listening.
Annie right there, she told me to say
Annie, he said
that she wrote my first rap, but I actually wrote her first rap. And we named her Sugar Love. She sat down. She has a really nice hat on tonight, and I want everyone to acknowledge her hat. Now, that's rock and roll. And I would sit at the table and I would write all these raps, and then I would go out in the street and I would try these raps out, and have little battles in the street. And Tata was sitting there, I would go to Tata and be like, yo, I'm the best, I'm telling you, I'm the greatest. Well, one of the greatest, I don't want no problems, hell, right? One of the greatest. And I go to Tata and say, yo, I'm the greatest. And Tata be like, yeah, yo, you are the greatest. And then, I look back at some of those raps.
Let me say this, you young creators out there, you need you a Tata. You need you a Tata. You need somebody in your corner that's prepared to walk the journey with you, but not from an artificial stance, right? They really see the vision. They really feel what you're doing. They know, hey, yo, something special about what it is that you do, man. And so all young creators, just for the moment, I need y'all to understand, don't reject your Tata. Cause you think he riding your coattail. Don't reject your Tata. You need that to feed off of if you're gonna be multi-million.
Stop thinking you're making it, son. I'm breaking the break. It was trash. But somehow we knew. And then I went and recorded a demo with shout out to Clark Kent. Woo! Legendary.
That's right. Brooklyn represent.
And I went to every single record company, and you know what they say, right? That shit is trash. But the audacity of hip hop, we didn't believe them. I for not 1 second got depressed. For 1 second, I didn't change my course. It was like we don't create our own company, you know? That's hip hop.
For sure. That's what we doing with its-up-there-podcast.
Shout out to Dame. I know we don't see eye to eye, but I can never erase your accomplishments.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for acknowledging Dame Dash.
Shout out to Biggs. One of the most honorable people I've met. We created something that will probably never be duplicated.
That's right.
That's what I try to say right there, right? You're dealing with evolvement. When you hear a man shout out a man that publicly and privately there's been nothing but disagreement, nothing but disassociation. You know, all we do is try to forget what we had with each other. Forget those memories. Yo, make another J. And then you got Dame on the other side standing his ground. Yo, we don't need Jay, right? Respectfully, right? And sometimes the guy that everybody look up to, when you and him have a real thing, right? It's a real problem now. He respect when you go, cause Dame done went to everybody else done come over to the other side. All of them that talked about Jay. His hustle has made all his haters come and deal with him. Not necessarily his haters, but people that had, you know, some of his doubters, the people that had issue with him. It made all of them in some way, shape, form come and work for him. Come and work with him. Because I'm sure he's evolved into a place where he don't want to view it that way. You know, they work for me or nothing, but it's like, yo, they figured out a way to resolve whatever issues they had for the betterment of their brand, their business. Because if they could stand in the water, you know, if they could get in that water and stand up and they had to be above water, they wouldn't have done that, or some of them wouldn't have done that. But out of respect from your position, out of respect of where you stand, what you've done, a lot of those guys have had to come over to the other side. Dame Dash, though, on the other hand, has stood firm, and we're gonna create and try to, you know, I said I was a boss on the push-up, so I'm gonna be a boss on the walkout. You know, and somewhere along the lines, man, your enemy, or not necessarily your enemy, someone that you had a issue with, you skipped the line in regards to respect. You know, I hold Dame here, man, because Dame was, you know, even though we went through our stuff, man, like he stood on it, and I know what he was. I know what we done. You know what I'm saying? Dude was the truth. He is the truth. You know what I mean? That's basically what he said. And so, again, this is an example of what this kind of Jay-Z we didn't see when he was rapping. Maybe in his latter years, but in the midst of the competition, we didn't see this evolvement, embracing people and things like that. This is an evolved Jay-Z. This is an evolved Sean Carter. You know, again, just a beautiful thing seeing our culture, hip hop, you know, seeing this thing take it all the way up to where it's being took. And I even see, you know, Meg is she in Popeyes, and she at the stadium. Like, she's getting a lot of brand deals as well, which is a beautiful thing. Hip hop, man, is we need representations of both sides. Again, I saw somebody say, where's all the RICO cases for the rock and roll people? Again, we know money breeds certain things, and that got a period after of it. It don't got nothing to do with color or nothing else. Money breeds corruption, right? And not in totality, but there will be some corruption involved with some money. So you know, it feels as though that again, I made this point earlier in the podcast. You know, the liberation is attached to the rappers. You know what I'm saying? They know they whitewash these other people, get them on our side, then they useless. You know what I'm saying? You can't even communicate to them folks no more. Them folks don't even understand what you saying. You go to talking shit like Get Out. Nigga on the other side talking crypto. Nigga on the other side talking social media influence and this and that. That nigga talking like the man in Get Out, man. We trying to, yo, what he talking to? Yo, you good? Yo, bro. Nah, he on the other side of the financial literacy, and that's why we got to bridge the gap, in which we are currently working on. Again, shout out to Earn Your Leisure. We're going to make sure to get that done, build a real relationship there, hopefully change some lives, or just, you know, maybe every so often check in with them, man, and just update, you know. And so I just think it'll be a beautiful thing. But, yeah, you're dealing with Jay, man. Jay is evolved into something that is just beautiful, along with a lot of the people in our culture. And sometimes I forget people's names, no disrespect to them. It's just that I am doing this without any notes and on the fly. And so sometimes it becomes a very unique flow that's going on. And I'm not really actually thinking about everyone. So it's no disrespect meant with that. Let's look at a little bit more of this. We just come off word that Alpo was just killed. Today is Halloween, so he was just killed today. We'll talk about that a little bit. then we'll get out of here. Again, we appreciate everybody that's rocking with us, man. Let's listen to a little bit more of this Jay-Z.
Together.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Contribution to this journey. I don't know why I couldn't think of contribution to this journey. So we made an album. We moved out.
Woo!
You heard that one? That's this one guy. And we came out and we sold about, I don't know, no copies, but we thought we made the greatest thing of all time. I actually remember at like a Soul Train party running to LL. You know, LL says like bananas a lot. He's like, yo, can I live? That's bananas, B. It's like, banana, can I live? I was just listening to the chorus, bananas, B. And I was like, wow, like, you know, one of my heroes is like repeating this thing back. So I knew I was on the right track. And then we dropped the second album. Oops. And I was, you know, it was actually a great album. Like, Happy was great. Some of those records are some of the best records I've made. But then I was preaching. I got too ambitious and I was doing some things that I should have been doing. And again, those heroes helped me.
See that? I can stop right there and spend an hour on that. That's why it's important that we line up communication between the people that's... Everybody would have went right past that. You see what he said? I got a little too ambitious and I started to do some things that I shouldn't have done. I could spend an hour right there. Because when you're reaching for something, and it's right there, you might pull out, you might do a little something that, you know, you might do a crazy move to try to reach a little bit more and grab at you a few inches off. But what he's saying was, if I just kept doing what I was doing, it was coming. I was willing it right to me. And that's the same thing that I'm doing this. I'm willing it right to me. You know, I ain't got to do too much of nothing different. I'm willing it right to me. So a lot of us get too ambitious when we get right there close to it and can smell it. You can smell it. You ever seen a dog snap and miss? You were a little too far from. You'll see a dog run on a chain and you can't get it. You're almost there, but you can't get it. You know, so again, we can spend an hour right there, just right in that place right there. But we've already been partying for a while. We're going to listen to maybe a minute or two more. We'll get to Alpo.
I thought back to, you know, what made them so great. And what made them great is they was 100% authentic to who they were. LL, he opened up the doors for us to be vulnerable. When I'm alone in my room, I ain't saying that. Sometimes it's hardcore rap, but he also made I'm Bad singing I Need Love. He gave us emotional intelligence. And then KRS-One, he was a teacher.
That's right.
At the time, it wasn't even cool to be smart. Like, if you had a book, they'd be like, look at this nigga with a book. And he made it cool for us to have books and be smart. So I could carry my little grade notebook that my mom bought me. I could carry it around the property for KRS-One. Rakim gave us knowledge himself. He had like fast vocabulary that he never cursed. It was like, how is he saying all this fresh shit without cursing? And Chuck D, he gave us social commentary. Yeah. Chuck D, he gave us social commentary, and that shit was slap. Like, all the songs was like amazing, like slappers. Like 911 is a joke back then, and Night of the Living Bassheads.
Yes.
And then, you know, Big Daddy Kane, he was just like a black exploitation film walking. Like he
So that's some of the speech, man. Again, congratulations to Jay-Z and LL Cool J for being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Again, remember, like he said, hip hop was started and he said it was just a fad. It'd only be around for a while. They protested it. So many things. Now it's producing billionaires. Now it's the most influential market in the world. Let that sink in. You know, what they said about it at its inception didn't define its trajectory, nor did it hinder, or it may have hindered, but it didn't stop the blossom ultimately of the flower. And so those of you that's chasing dreams or doing something, we got to make sure to keep chasing them dreams and keep tapping into them and try to take it to the next level, man, because people gonna look at you and say what you doing ain't nothing. People gonna look at you and say what you doing ain't gonna work. It's too much money you put in. It's too much involved. You dumb and stupid. How you know to do that? Who told you about that? What is that? Why ain't nobody else doing it? If it worked, so much will be said, but it won't hinder the results if you just put your head down and keep working. Again, shout out to them brothers. Shout out to Dame as well. This is the Hustler's Handbook you're dealing with. It's Up There Podcast. We'll get into Alpo, then we'll get out of here. Alpo, for those of you that don't know, is a drug kingpin out of New York. I think the Harlem area. It was the movie Paid in Full was surrounded his life. He ended up doing a bid. I think he snitched on a bunch of people and came home and he stood on his snitching. Now, right, they catch him in New York on Halloween and they deal with, I don't know. They catch him on Halloween and he ended up getting shot and killed. A couple things come to my mind is I wonder if he would have got out and just stayed away from all that, would have changed the game. Because again, you hear me cite Jay Prince, when you campaigning, you're going to get elected at some point, right? So it was interesting to see him come home and go to them same blocks and they, you know, allegedly approach people that called him rat, you know, certain things was happening. He was trying to get, certain things were going on with him. He was standing on it, you know, pushing up on dudes. Now guess what happens? Now you become the poster. So when you hear names come up of other people that may have done something out of New York, you hear about a Tekashi 6ix9ine, then you got people saying, yo, they ain't even, you New York dudes ain't never, y'all ain't even dealt with Alpo, man. You New York dudes need to be dealing with that, man. You New York, you know, so you become the catalyst of what they saying is wrong with us around here. They putting a target on your back saying that, yo, y'all let him come back. He jacking dudes up and this and that. So now it's a target on your back. When we in the streets, a lot of people, especially when you get money, you get good at offense. And the more money you got, the more that offense feel like defense. You understand? So you gotta stay aware of what real offense is and what real defense is, because defense win championships. So when you running and you getting niggas you can call, you got hit men on your payroll, you got a bunch of homeboys is willing to go to prison and die for you, you got locks on the doors, cameras up, all that's offense that appears to be defense. Because all that's doing is making the cameras make you aware somebody's out there. You still got to deal with who out there. 9 times out of 10, when you involved with some money, them cameras don't stop. They see that and they still coming. You got to deal with, so the cameras is just for you to look at. Some people think them cameras will stop somebody from doing something. Again, offense appearing as defense. So when you come home, right, you got to get better at your defense. You got to know, listen, that's what I'm saying. If he would have came out and went on defense, do we got the same situation? Like, long as they don't come at me with nothing, ain't nobody threatening me, say what you want, whatever. Tekashi 6ix9ine better pay attention to what's going on, because what happens is, I think with like Tekashi 6ix9ine or maybe some of these people, you know, maybe not Tekashi, maybe he stand on it the same way, but what tends to happen is a lot of these people want to use the laws of the state in their favor. Again, offense appearing as defense. What the law gonna do is a reaction to what I'm gonna do to you. You gotta survive what I do to you for the law to even get involved. But a lot of people, oh, you in New York, you ain't got no gun up here. Oh, you in New Jersey, you can't do this to me because the law say such. They know that people can't afford certain cases. People can't afford certain things, so they try to use the law against them. What they don't know is some people don't care about the law. Some people don't care about going down that road. They don't care. But again, defense wins games. So many people, go on offense and think they, and think it's, I like to stay on offense. You know what I'm saying? I like to stay on offense, but I'm aware that defense is necessary to win championships. And I'm talking about in life. Offense is a beautiful thing, but when defense kicks in, it's a totally different game. It's a gritty game. It's a game down in the trenches. It's war involved. It's deep. It ain't just the pretty game. It's different when you got to go on defense. So I just wonder if he didn't put himself, because ultimately you still fell victim to the situation. See, because when you deal with a man that's on offense and not understanding that he needs defense, again, you see a man to go get the guns. He got plenty of hitters on his team. He got a fence around his house and a privacy fence and cameras and this and that and that and this. But that's all offensive game. The problem is you don't know who's coming. You don't know when they coming. You don't know where they coming from. You don't know what they coming with. You don't know who's involved. All of that information is imperative to survival on any kind of real attack. You don't know what's happening, when it's coming, what's going on, Chinese per white per. You don't know who, what, when, where, how. You got to depend on reflexes and reactions. And that's what defense is. But see, the problem is, sometimes I ask and I'm going to go and sit down with bruh. Sometimes I worry about what they're doing with Boosie. I worry about, is they going to use him against him with the Lil Nas X situation, right? Because like dealing with Alpo, you think about the situation and you say, damn. When you look at Alpo, because if you know the history of Alpo, they said he was really a hitter. He was responsible for some, a whole bunch of stepped on a whole bunch of people, allegedly, according to whatever has been said. Again, the movie kind of shows some of it. But he was ruthless. I guess that's why he came back with that same vibe. Who y'all think y'all talking about around here? I ran this round here. Y'all think y'all calling me something around here and it's mine. You respectfully, you can have that. And I know dudes with that type mentality. But at some point, the father of time is your enemy. The father of time is your enemy. Number one. Number two, they use you against you. So the same fearlessness that you had, the same heart you had that made you a millionaire in the dope game, the same fortitude you had, the perseverance. I go to any town and copy it, all that. The same vibe you had is what they gonna use to walk you into your death. That same fearlessness, that same I don't care, that same trick that worked for you for so long is now gonna be the Achilles heel. But you need to be aware when the game is changed. So that same one trick you had, you got to evolve, update. Because they'll use you against you. Hey, we know he fearless. Threaten him. He gonna come right out. Hey, yo, we know he like girls. Send her over at him. He can't deny them light skinned ones. These dudes get intel on you. Then it becomes a mental game. The streets is no longer physical. Physicality is involved, but you better be mentally prepared. The feds them change the game. They come in mental. They ain't even got to show up and tap phones or put a bug in your house. Back in John Gotti and them, they had to send somebody over at like they fixing light bulbs. Had to have a uniform on to plant something in here to hear what they talking about. It ain't like that no more. this thing done became mental. And that's why I say, you know, when, whether or not Tekashi 6ix9ine knows it or not, he's influencing a lot of people to now play with the streets. You know, and whether or not he might want to stand on it. Some people stand on it. That's what it is. But he's influencing people that I know ain't gonna stand on it, right? So, and we talking kids and other people like youngsters, they don't really know. Like, they in a city where you can have guns and firearms on you, man. And you in New York, man, where, you know, a little 38 or a little 380 is a problem. We down here, I got an AK on me right now, right here on the ground. Legally. Ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? So, like, the circumstances that work for you up there, man, you can't, bruh. You know, everybody can't walk around and do these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Certain towns is different. Like certain people, bro, we got arsenals, allegedly. And you think you gonna just send my people away and show back up here cause Tekashi walking around? Okay. I mean, you know, like I say, it's unfortunate. You know, it's an unfortunate situation to be a part of something that you know you're not gonna stand on, or that ultimately you play a role in tearing it up from the inside. You know, I always look down on destruction, especially without cause. You know, sometimes you destroy to rebuild, you know, but other times you say, yo, destruction without cause is just a, I don't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And so if you involved and they catch you involved with something, you gotta understand that I gotta take my lick regardless of what it is, if ever come a time. You know what I'm saying? And we knock on wood, we don't never, you know, we hope God is present every time that our name is mentioned in the rat's mouth. You know what I'm saying? On any type of level, lying about whatever the circumstances of our relationship is or was. You know, you dealing with somebody, me, I've been told on. So I ain't talking about my cousin life. I ain't talking about my auntie life, my uncle life, my people life, my big homie life. Somebody sent me out to do something and something happened. I'm hustling for somebody else. I'm talking about my life. I've been told on. I've been snitched on. Confidential informant on my life. So it hit a little different when I see certain things, right? It's like, yo, wow, that's deep, you know. But other certain states, you can't just show up like that, bro. We got firearms and people is, you know what I'm saying? It's too much going on, man. So y'all young dudes that, you know, don't get involved in the streets, man, if it ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? And let's see, or if you can't be held accountable for things, and you know if mama coming in tell you to clean up, or how, you know if you're gonna stand on whatever it is you stand on, you know that about yourself. Hopefully, sometimes you're confused. You think you'll stand on it, then you get there and whoa, I didn't know it was like this. So my advice is to stay away from it. I've already made it clear my stance. Go the other way. Some of us don't get to come back from down that street. Ain't no lights, ain't no blinkers, ain't no, you know, stop signs, nothing. It's just wild down there. They driving crazy, cars broke down, they stealing cars. Down this other road, man, everybody driving speed limit, seatbelts on. It's pleasant. Down this other road right here. It's a little slower, but it's pleasant down this other road. Peace down this other road. You know, it's healing down this other road, and we all are prepared. My followers, my family, my loved ones are prepared to head down the other road. And also tell any young person that looks up to me for some of the things I've done independently without any influence, I tell them to head the other way. Very pleasant on the other side, you know. And so that's just that on that. Let's see, if we don't got nothing else to talk about, we'll end it here. But let's see anything else important happen. All right, so there was another episode of It's Up There podcast. If you have it right now, go see the West Side Slow interview is out. Again, he was the guy that spared the young man that tried to break into his beings that went viral. That whole interview is explained on It's Up There podcast. Came out last week. The video also came out on FOGFO TV on YouTube. Support us in our endeavors. We will be at Revolt Summit. Shout out Revolt. It's Up There podcast, man. Subscribe, FOGFO TV on YouTube. Sub to the Patreon. It's Up There podcast on Patreon. Send your donations through the app. Send your love and your blessings through the universe, and send blessings through the Cash App. It's Up There podcast. You know the vibrations.